Hopefully we won't have any more tech difficulties. I'm on my hotspot here. So not depending on, oh, he said it's back up. So there's that, but we'll just stick with what we got here, and I'm going to share my screen so that y'all can see. Of course, I said this is going to be super informal, but I did make slides because y'all know that's just kind of how I am. So I'm not going to go through the big long spiel in the beginning because we've already had our huddle call this month, and I really want to get like right into the content. We are about, well, we're 11 days into September, so about a third of the way there, but we still have plenty left to go. And so if you're on Team Fit Revival, you know, like the first couple weeks of the month, we really focus on filling those challenge groups, and we never really let off the gas on that. But then in the second half of the month, things start to shift where we start to put a greater focus on growing your team and adding coaches to your team. And so you'll start to see that shift as we get closer to the What is Coaching event thing that we have going on in that last week of September. So mark your calendars for that. Mark your calendars for Super Saturday or Super Sunday. Those live events are so important for you to get to those. Did anybody listen to the wake up call this morning by chance? Anybody? I mean, I'm not trying to put y'all on the spot. If you did, I don't think I have y'all muted. So there's not very many of us on tonight. So you can just kind of speak up. But it was really, really good. I listened to it this afternoon, and it was from Jamie Shepard, and she talked all about inviting to the business. Like, I know so many of y'all can be hesitant sometimes about inviting to the business, but she really covered the bases on the objections that we face when it comes to that. And so if you haven't listened to that National Wake Up Call, put that on your list for tomorrow and make sure that you go through that. I took lots of notes. She had some great things to say. We're going to talk about a few things that she talked about towards the end of this call. But definitely it's very timely as we get into that part of our month where we're more focused on growing our team. So anyways, I just encourage y'all to listen to that. In our huddle call, you guys know we talked a lot about being a 500 PB coach and what all that means. So if you didn't listen to that call, this is just another reminder for you to go back. Like, I'm filling up your PD for the next couple of days, okay? So tomorrow, National Wake Up Call. Wednesday, if you didn't listen to our September huddle, where we really talked about what it looks like, it was like a no customer left behind call. And so the vision that we have really from this point forward is just a minor tweak in how we do things, but it involves still reaching to that Success Club goal, but in the process of that, not leaving customers behind, offering them a good, better, best solution, right? So if they can't take a step into your challenge group, surely you have something that you can help them get started with and take a next step. Otherwise, they're going to go somewhere else, right? They're going to spend whatever they were going to spend somewhere else with someone else. So you might as well scoop them up and put them in your group, because obviously you have the best thing to offer them. So if they're taking a little step or a big step, it's all good. It's all taking a step forward. So that was just the short and sweet of that. But again, if you didn't listen to that, make sure you go back and listen to it, because we're going to be talking a lot about it. Okay. Oh, I misspelled nurturing. There we go. There's the R. I was a teacher, so I don't know if y'all know that, but like a lot of times will spot those misspelled words like from a mile away. So I wanted to talk to y'all about how I'm doing things right now, because it certainly has shifted. And I noticed that even in some of our training files and things like that, I went today and cleaned a lot of that up. And so that it really reflects where we're at right now and how things have shifted and changed. This time last year, I was still running my challenge groups. I wasn't really doing free groups at that point, but I had done them to build my business, in the years prior to that. So, but I've come back around to this free group thing, and I really call it a free community. So if you've been listening to me at all for the last few months, you know that. So I have a free community group, and then I have my challenge group, and I call that my VIP virtual boot camp. And so I have these two groups. But what I was saying is that last time this year, I did not have the free community going, and I was hosting my challenge group so that they stopped and started every 30 days. And at some point last year, I got away from the set curriculum in my group. But for a while there, it was, I had this 30-day curriculum, and I would schedule it into the group for 30 days, and it would run. I would engage with my challengers. We would stop at the end of those 30 days. I would invite them to come back to the next challenge, set a new group up, and go from there. So I don't know how you are running your group right now, but I felt like I needed to let y'all know that I'm not doing that anymore. And you may not be either, but I'm just going to kind of let you guys in on what I've been up to, and hopefully it helps you, gives you something that you can try with what you're currently doing, or maybe gives you an idea of something that you can implement. So anyways, I mentioned a few minutes ago that I have two groups, a free community and a VIP virtual boot camp. The free community is something that I keep ongoing. I have a goal for myself every month that I'm going to expand that group by at least 50 people. That's my goal. Maybe your goal is 10, maybe your goal is 20, maybe it's 30. But the goal of that free community really is to expand your outreach, right? And so if you are running a free community and you just have those same 10 to 15 people in there month after month after month, you're going to get frustrated with it, and the energy and the vibe in there is going to kind of die off. And so I encourage you to really think about it, like your goal with that group is to expand it and to have a number goal for that. Because I know when I don't have a number goal for that, then it just is kind of like whatever, and then my result is kind of like whatever. And so if I know that I'm going to have 50 new people in there by the time I set up shop in there again next month, then that puts some leverage in my lap that I know that I need to make sure that I have that handled in my business. So that's kind of rule number one. And then what I've been doing is I show up the first week of every month, and I just run like a mini challenge or a mini workshop of some topic that I know is going to solve a problem for my target market, who are the people that are being added to that group. And so like the first week that I started this back up, I did a meal prep, 5 days of meal prep. I gave them my blank meal planner. I really over delivered and went all out and gave them everything. I gave them an example meal plan. I gave them recipes. We talked about clean eating. We did that whole thing that I would normally do in a prep week with my VIP group, right? So I basically ran them through a prep week, which was great because those ladies that did end up taking a step into my other group, they had already done their prep week. So we were ready to go. So you might consider that. So if you do something like that, then make it into a free group. Take something that you're already doing with your challengers and create a little snapshot of that you can give to your free group once a month. Let me go ahead and mute you guys. Hang on a second. Hang on. I swear that, okay, hang on. There we go. All right. If you guys have questions, you can always unmute yourself. But in your free community too, I recognize, and I just show up every single day when I'm running that mini challenge at the first of every month with positivity and helping them just we talk a lot about faith and fitness in my group. So it's my goal to just emphasize to them what their identity is and that they really can take these next steps and really go forward with living out their God-given potential. I just want them to get a taste of that because it's amazing. And so the other thing I do is that when someone in that group does take a next step into my other group, I make sure that I highlight that. I let that community know, and we celebrate that. And it's exciting to that group, and then it creates interest for the other ladies in the group to say, oh, she took a next step. I want to hear more about that. And so those are some simple things that I do in my free community After that first week, though, y'all, like we just finished over the weekend, and today they're still posting in there, but you can tell, like, the energy, since I'm not posting and I'm not giving them like assignments and things to do and coming in and encouraging, the energy has gone down today. So it's a perfect week for me to be reaching out one-on-one to all of those ladies in the group and asking them what their next step is. And so I'll come back in maybe once or twice a week and just post something that is of value to them, but I'm not in there every day, like I am in my regular group. And so I really, my presence is strong in there 1 week out of the month, and then just kind of sporadically and randomly after that. So this is really the meat of what I wanted to talk about here, is what happens in your main group, in your VIP virtual boot camp. And we should stop for just a second and talk about, like, what is the difference? What if you have somebody that, obviously all your challenge pack people are going to go in your main group here, right? But what if you have somebody that wasn't ready for that and you led them to just Shakeology or just All Access or just, a Boost or Energize or something else? Truly, it's your call. Where do you feel like you can support them best? Where do you feel like their commitment level is? I think you can decide. But I love having the free community, and I love having the virtual boot camp, because I, as the coach, I feel like it's a gray area sometimes, but I can decide where I feel like that person is going to fit best. And it really depends on what I feel like their commitment level is. And you may just want to say, hey, let's put you in this VIP group for 30 days and see how it goes. So it doesn't have to be a forever thing either. You're the coach, so you get to decide. And so I just kind of wanted to give you the freedom there. I know sometimes I feel like we put ourselves in a box where we feel like we have to go by certain rules. And the fact is, you're the CEO of your business. So you get to decide how you're going to support somebody. And that's great, right? So you have the freedom to do that. Okay, so talking about how you can really nurture those customers that you have in your VIP virtual bootcamp. These are people that are very committed, that are all in with you. They have probably bought a challenge pack at some point, or maybe they did something else. Again, it's your call. But these are your committed girls or guys. So the first thing I do when someone buys a challenge pack is I send them a welcome email. With that welcome email, I attach a prep week checklist, because my boot camp, again, is ongoing. I don't stop and start it every 30 days anymore. I do add new ladies into the group once, sometimes twice a month, and I make like a big to-do about it. So just like you guys see on the Team Fit Revival page when there's a new coach added, I do the same thing in my challenge group or in my boot camp group when I add new challengers. Like last night, I added like 5 new ladies into the group. They each had a slide with their name. It says New Fit Sister, and I introduced them and gave them a big welcome. And then just like we do in the Team Fit Revival page with new coaches, everybody in our boot camp group welcomes them into the group so that they don't feel like they're coming in on the backside of things. So I just encourage you, like, treat it like it is something big and like it is something special, because it is. It is a big deal for someone to take that kind of step with you, right? So introduce them to the group. Make sure that they feel welcome. Send them the welcome email. I have this for you in our files. I'm going to show you where it's at here in just a second. I also have a prep week checklist. It does say Fit Revival on it, so you're more than welcome to retype it up so that it is maybe, more like what you want it to look like. You're welcome to use it as it is, but again, it's totally up to you. So I have that in there for you. But in that welcome email, I ask them to schedule a chat with me, and I just kind of let them know what to expect. And so they'll schedule a chat with me. Then from there, we get on the phone. With All Access, there's a lot in All Access, and there's a lot of moving parts. So they've got Shakeology, they've got their portion fix containers, they've got BOD if you're using the app, and then there's the Facebook group. My goodness, right? It is a lot for people to grasp. But I like to let them know, like, look, we're going to be working together for 12 months. And so the number one rule in my group is that you do not feel overwhelmed. We are going to take this one step at a time, and it's my goal on that phone call just to simplify things for them, to review their goals, make sure, like, if they haven't picked a program, I give them a few programs to try for that first week, and then I ask them to pick one of those and commit to it and let me know which one they are committed to from start to finish. And so it really, too, is a chance for us to, like get that relationship in a good place, because we want people not just to buy a challenge pack and stick with us for 30 days. Like, I don't know about you, but I'm in this to help people change their life, right? We don't want people to just do something for 30 days and be done. We want them to keep taking next steps and to keep on their journey, and for it not just to be a 21-day or 30-day thing. We want them to continue this month after month after month. So there are things that they do on the front end here that will really establish that trust, that will make them feel welcome in your group, and then really set them up for success in the process. So the other thing I do on that first chat is that I just go over the prep week checklist with them and make sure they don't have any questions. So, and again, I'm going to show you where that checklist is. It's not something you have to create, but again, you may want to tweak it so that it's more branded towards you. Some things that I do once they're in the group, since I know that they're going to be with me for a while, I'm not always starting from like square one necessarily, but I know that if they're going to be with me for a while, they're going to get all of this content from me at some point, right? So I'm not really worried about where I start here. So I will usually set a theme for the week for my girls. And so last week we really focused on consistency, and that to me is drinking your shake, doing your workout, and plugging into the group. Like, super simple. And yes, of course, we want them to focus on their nutrition, but in that consistency week, I just make it super simple. This week in my group, it's meal prep week. And so this is where I dig really deep into using your containers, what it looks like to print out that blank meal planner and plan your week. I give them recipes. I give them all of my best stuff on meal prepping and really lining that out, and helping them build confidence there. And so another week I'll do like a mindset week where we are maybe really talking about a book that we're reading together, or just anything in particular. Like if I see that maybe we're having some confidence issues in the group, or identity issues, things like that, so whatever, like, I feel like the group needs, a lot of times that's what I'll focus on in a week like that. Then another week I might focus on just community, sharing your story, letting them know, like, look, your journey here starts with you, but it's so much bigger than that. So I basically teach them how to share their journey, which is great. And a lot of times these ladies, they've never done a live video before, but they'll come on and they'll do a live video. And these are women that come into the group and they wouldn't even post their picture, at first. And so it's really exciting for me as a coach just to see them taking these next steps and gaining confidence in all of these areas. And if you think about it, like consistency, that's being product of the product. Mindset, that's personal development. Sharing your journey, learning how to tell your story, those are soft invites. And so really I'm grooming these girls in my boot camp to become coaches, to become part of our tribe here. And sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. But regardless, I know that they've gained something along the way. So that, I always have a theme in mind for my week with my girls. And then from there, each day, it's pretty predictable. They know that Monday is roll call. Tuesday, I'm going to have a fill in the blank, something for them to think about and respond to. Wednesday, I will have usually something to break it up, some kind of mini challenge. Post a word, that's important to you, or your favorite body part, or sometimes you can, I'll give them hey, spell out your name, and then do some, like, there's like this little workout thing that has like acronyms. I'll post it for y'all so that you have it. But I just like switch it up on Wednesdays. Thursday is, I always post something about Shakeology. I'm going to have some slides about that later in this call about how do you create a culture of Shakeology in your group. And Thursdays are always my day to do that. And then Friday, I do some sort of recognition, whether it's a Fit Sister of the Week award, or I go into the challenge tracker and just look and see who's been the most consistent. A lot of times, like if someone's hit 100 workouts or 100, they've drank 100 Shakeologies and logged it, then that's something to celebrate. So I just find something to celebrate on Fridays, and we just go with it. Fridays, I will also, like, if I know what we're going to be doing the next week, then I'll make sure I start to set them up for that as well. So anyways, you can see that I don't have, like, I used to just schedule out a curriculum. Like every month it was the same thing. It's not that way. I'm really trying to, like, when I was a teacher, we differentiated our instruction for each child in the classroom. So if you're a teacher, you know what I'm talking about, right? And so it's the same way with your challengers. Like, you just can meet them where they're at. And I think sometimes when we just have like a set framework, it really like prohibits us from being able to do that. And so if I know that my group is struggling with something specific, then the next week we can focus on that for the whole week. So just, this allows some flexibility, but also some structure, and it's freed me up, y'all. I feel like I just am like super free as far as my challenge group is concerned, because I have a plan. And again, I'm very intentional about it, but at the same time, I know that I'm giving them my best stuff. And it frees me up personally to also be the challenger in my group, because I'm not trying to like be like write out these novels every day. Like, do you guys feel me on that? Because for a while there, like I was feeling like, I have to write out this big, long, inspirational, amazing post every single day. And I don't think that's where it's at. I think the ladies in your group need to know what the plan is. They need to see that it's predictable. They need to know that you're creating habits with them. And I think that goes a long way. So anytime that something's not like if you've been at this for any length of time, and you keep doing the same thing over and over and over, at some point you're going to feel burnt out, right? At some point you're going to be like, man, I'm kind of bored with that. And so when that starts to happen, because if it hasn't happened yet, it definitely will. When that starts to happen, that's a red flag as the CEO of your business that you need to make some changes. If you're bored with your group, guess who's also bored with your group? Right? Like, if you're wondering, I mean, because I've had plenty of groups where it was like watching the paint dry. Like, I'm the only person posting, and I can see that they've all seen it, but that's about all that's happening, So I've had so many groups like that, it's not even funny. So all of this is a result of me just like failing forward. And your progress here too will be a result of you failing forward. You will find what works over time, and something might work for a period of time, and then it doesn't work anymore. And so then you have to continue to reinvent the wheel, but don't get discouraged about that. Let that be something that is exciting to you and fun. Like, to me, I'm like, okay, that's not working anymore. So why does this feel like it's sucking the life out of me? Obviously, if it feels like it's sucking the life out of me, it's probably not very much fun for them either. And so that's when like, how can I make a change here? Because I know, like, when I make a change like this that I know needed to happen, all of a sudden I'm a better coach for it, because I'm in a better place. I'm excited about it. And that is like the unwritten thing that portrays into our group, right? I don't think portray is the right word, but they know when you're like really excited and on fire, and they know when you're not. And so, anyways, some other things I wanted to say that I do, like we have a power verse. It's a scripture every month that just kind of defines our month. And so whether you want to do a scripture or a quote or a theme or something, you need to make it fresh every month. So if you have an ongoing group, you need to change it out once a month and make sure that, like, at the beginning of the month, like my girls, they're like, look forward to it. They're wondering what that new verse is going to be. And then I challenge them at some point in the month to memorize it and go live in the group. And that's a really fun thing that we do because, again, it pushes them out of their comfort zone. And it's super fun because they get so nervous, but like they take that step and we all celebrate it together. And I don't know, like when you have an experience like that with the ladies in your group, then it draws you closer together. Okay? So this is about so much more than fitness, I think maybe is what we're getting at here, right? So there's so many layers to helping other people really walk in freedom. And so fitness is one part of it, but you have such an opportunity as a coach to help somebody peel back the layers and really change their life in a lot of different ways. So like that's exciting to me. If that's not exciting to you, like I don't know, we need to have a one-on-one. But you know, if your challenge group is needing new life, then hopefully some of these things help. I would say make sure your files section in your group is organized and helpful, and then it's not too messy and overwhelming, because if it's overwhelming to you, it's overwhelming to them. I'm going to give you some suggestions in just a minute. In the middle of every month, I talk about that they have options with their Shakeology, because when they order from me, I let them know, hey, look, it's going to set you up on auto ship. I want to let you know that that ball's in your court. I know you haven't tried Shakeology yet. I think you're going to love it. And then it's up to me as their coach to create that value, to help them have a good experience with Shakeology. And I'm going to do everything I can to make sure of that, because I want them to continue to drink Shakeology daily, right? But you can't just like send them to order and then never talk about it again, because then what will happen is those people will cancel and then they will drop out of your group, and then, you know, all of a sudden they've gone quiet and you've lost them. So in the middle of every month, and I let them know this when they order, I say, hey, look, I'm going to give you a reminder. Beachbody will give you a reminder. You'll have the opportunity to make any changes that you need to make. And I'm going to show you this example. I'll just go ahead and do it now. I keep talking about what we're fixing to do. So we'll come back to that. Hang on a minute. So all of this is our team site. So you can go here and under the resources tab, you just click there. So this used to say challenge group curriculum here where I'm pointing, and I've changed it because I think we need to get away from just like the set curriculum. But this is just resources and training for you, and it's a lot of the things I've been talking about in this call. Hopefully it's not going to kick me off. Okay, so I've archived all the curriculum stuff. It's still there, but it's all in like one little folder. This is what I put in my challenge group files. 4 different things. So I give them the checklist, even though I already emailed it to them. I give them what I call a Fit Sister guide, and it's just like my 5 things, and it has scripture on it for 5 different areas of working in, working out, and just things that we focus on in the group. I give them example meal plans and a blank meal planner. And so the example meal plans looks like this, and it has links where they can go through. There's like all these different meal plans here, and then there's a blank one that they can edit. And this is all, like, you guys can have this. It's yours. You can take it and make it your own. But, oh, hang on. There. So that's what I have in my files. It's simple. It's easy. Then from there, let's see. I was going to tell you about these Shakeology posts. I have some examples for you here. So the post that I was talking about, like I always give them like my Beachbody, my Shakeology story. I talk about why I drink it, what Shakeology is, what it isn't. And so this is my post on that, and I just let them know, like, this is our housekeeping post. You're going to see this every month. This is my reminder to you. You know, and it's a little bit of education, but I'm giving them their options. They can change flavors, they can postpone, they can cancel. If they want to continue drinking Shakeology, which I hope that they do, then I'm going to suggest that they become a brand ambassador for our team, which is a coach. But a lot of times they're willing to take that step where they're willing to like share the love and share their story, because we've already been doing that in our group, but they're maybe a little intimidated about the business, which is okay, because baby steps are good, right? So I briefly explained that there, and I post this picture. If you don't, you're not going to have a picture like this probably, but there are lots of pictures that you can Google, and it just has the wall with no person. So you can totally do the same thing, okay? Then every Thursday, I go in, you know, like I'll do this on one Thursday out of the month, but then on other Thursdays, there's lots of other things that you can do. So I have these pictures that look like this. There's like 5 myths. And so I'll post one of these. And it talks about, this one talks about it's just a protein shake. So I'm not going to read this for you, but again, like I'm giving them my story here, and I'm talking about like myself, and I'm giving them some information too. So make it personal, I think, is what I'm trying to say. Definitely take what I've written here, you know, and tweak it if you'd like, but I'm really just giving you these examples to give you some ideas. And then here is another, like you can send them, a lot of times I'll send them to the Shakeology podcast and say, hey, like there's a ton of podcasts about Shakeology here. Go listen to one and tell me what you learned today. Because I want them to know what they're drinking, right? I want them to know why, you know, Shakeology costs $129, why that's worth it, why it's more than worth it. And so another one that what has gone really well in my group is this one right here, where I say I'm looking for 10 of y'all who are interested in learning more about Shakeology for a little project. And so I asked them to do just a quick Google search, and I list all these ingredients that are in Shakeology. And so they're all listed out there, and I asked them to just do a quick search and then comment on what they learned. And it's a really fun thing because, I mean, a lot of times they don't know what all of this stuff is, right? And so for them to just take one ingredient and then see the other girls in the group doing the same thing, and I post this picture with it, because I want them to know, like, all of the ingredients in there, they're not just, it's not crap, right? It's like amazing stuff that's doing great things for their body. So, anyways, this is in the files for you. And these are some good examples. I also have all of those pictures. If you'd like them, they're all right there. Okay? It's like Christmas, right? It's all yours. You can have all of it. But the fill in the blank post is another thing that I use a lot of times on like Tuesdays. I do one of these. But there's all kinds of stuff in here, from mindset. You know, I'll post this and I'll put some picture with it, and then I'll explain, I'll fill in the blank for myself and let them know like what my blank says. But you might do a fill in the blank about a workout, or even Shakeology or nutrition, and you can add to this even. But this is really simple, and I think it's good to make it easy for your challengers to engage with you. That's important, because if you make it too hard or make it too complicated, then number one, they're going to think they can't do what you do, and that's intimidating, right? And number two, like, you don't want them to like, you just want to make it easy for them to respond. So does that help? I'm going to go back to the slides real quick. So let's see. You know, there's a new feature in groups now where you can schedule your post. So before, a lot of us were using a service called Buffer to do that. It costs like $10 a month. But, and maybe they're rolling this out. I don't know if everybody has it yet, but if you don't, you should have it in the near future. But I know my groups have it now, where I can schedule my post out just right there within my group. I don't have to go anywhere else to do it. So your forehead does not have to be glued to your laptop all the time. But a lot of times that's the last thing I do before I close out my business for the day. I'll post what I want to say in my group for the next day. If I know I'm going to have a crazy busy week, I'll post it out for the whole week, or I'll schedule it out for the whole week. You do what works best for you and what makes you a better coach. I'm really, really big on that. I think a lot of times we get bogged down by the details, but if we would just take a second to say, this is the change I need to make in my business so that I can be a better coach, so that I can have more fun in my business, so that I can also still be the challenger and continue to work on me, then we are free to do that. But we bog ourselves down sometimes. So simplify this for yourself so that you can be that coach that is having a blast with their business. Because again, that also, like, your challengers and even your coaches and your team, like, they know that, right? They can see when you're having fun and not having fun, or when you're stressed out or frustrated. And so, and it happens to the best of us. It happens to me, believe me. But I'm just telling you, it's a red flag to make some shifts and make some changes. So we've already talked about Shakeology, so I won't go over that. All right, so here's the fun part. Not that all of this wasn't fun, but I'm kind of switching gears here because this year we are doing, it's a downline-wide retreat. And so no matter where you're at in the downline, you are invited to work towards receiving an invitation to attend with us. It'll be January 18th through 21st. It's in Rosemary Beach, Florida. And this is a Diamond Leadership Retreat. And so, and it says rock stars here. My coach, her team is the rock stars. So I'm doing this with her team, with Lauren Duke's team, with Joy Bowen's team. But everybody in all of those downlines are invited. So, but here's how you can qualify to receive an invitation to attend. And I want to just say, like, no matter where you're at in your business, because I know you're probably sitting there going, nope, sorry, you know, because I've done that before, right? Maybe you're just starting your business, or maybe you feel like you're not far enough along to make this a possibility. So if that thought's in your head, I'm going to ask you right now just to kick it right on out. But here's how you get there. Those who achieve a combination of either the monthly benchmark of 500 PV or projected PV is actually the correct terminology there, and or Success Club for September through December, and achieve a paid rank of Diamond in December are invited to attend. You are responsible for all of your costs. Jeff Hill from corporate will be there in attendance with us to do some special things with us. And then for those of y'all, because we originally started these qualifications in July, right after Summit. And so we had said at that point, like, those of you who make Success Club, 5 out of the last 6 months of the year, those were the requirements. But now we're wanting to also add in this 500 PV thing because it has been really a huge topic lately and something we want to make sure that we are recognizing. So you can come, or you can come if you have achieved Success Club 5 out of the last 6 months, or you can come if you have that 500 PV number September, October, November, December. So there's that. You can qualify either way, and then you also have to be a paid rank of Diamond in December. So any questions about that? It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a really special week together. And, you know, we always talk about attending events, right? Attending Summit or attending Super Saturday or this, that, or the other. These types of retreats are so special because they are more intimate. Does that make sense? Like, you're getting a lot of time just in conversation with each other, with other leaders, in a beautiful setting. Like, I don't know if y'all been to that part of Florida, but it is so pretty. And I know it will be January. We did our Team Fit Revival retreat there this last January as well, and it was a little cool, but there's tons of shopping there and lots of fun places to eat, and you can walk to everything. It's a lot of fun. And so we get to all like stay in the same, like each team will probably stay in the same house together and things like that, just depending on the numbers at that time. But so anyways, all of those details will really get hashed out later. But now is the time. Like now is the time if you are wanting to set your sights on this. Anybody listening to this call can be in attendance there in January. So I hope that you know that. But you're going to have to make a decision, because again, it's like one of those things where if you are like wavering, should I, shouldn't I, well, maybe it'll happen. I'm just going to go ahead and say, like, if you're thinking maybe it'll happen, it probably won't. You're going to have to say, I'm going for this, I'm doing this, I'm going to be there in January, and I'm committing to these qualifications today. I would say if this is something that you want to do, you need to make sure that you, as soon as this call is over, send a message to your upline or to me and let me know, so that you can be in a like a special group where we can walk with you and help you take the steps that you need to take in order to make this happen. So anyways, any questions about that before I close out with a call to action? Oh, okay, hang on. You guys also know that there is a new diamond bonus, right? So if you were at Summit, you know that there's a diamond bonus that you can get each quarter of the year, or the last 2 quarters of the year. So starting in October, it'll be October, November, December for the last quarter. So the last day that you can start because you have to hold diamond for 6 weeks in order to get that bonus. You also have to achieve Success Club in October, November, December for that bonus. But it's a $250 bonus. So if you achieve Success Club those 3 months, and then if you're diamond by November 22nd, that's a Wednesday night. So if you're diamond by then and hold for 6 weeks, then you get a $250 diamond bonus. So if you're looking at like, well, that'll cover like the majority probably of any travel expense that you have, and things like that. So that can go towards your trip for sure. But that is definitely something to factor in, and make sure that if you're going for diamond, like November 22nd really is the day, that's the cutoff day, because you have to allow yourself those 6 weeks for qualification in order to get that bonus. So okay, any questions about anything I've said so far? None? Okay. Well, if you think of anything, let me know. Call to action. I got this from the National Wake Up Call today, and I thought it was great. She said, keep your heart and mind in a place of positivity and service to others. And I was like, yes. I think we really have to work really hard sometimes in this business to protect our mindset. And in order to do that, you have to start in a place of gratitude every single day. And so I'm giving you a little bit of homework here. If you need to screenshot this or take a picture or whatever, then do that. But I want you to answer these questions this week, and let the answers to these questions help you with your post. Because I think once you answer these questions, you're going to get a ton of content that you're able to use as your post, like just in the weeks to come, right? So what has coaching brought to your life? How does it challenge you? What are you enjoying most? What will it do for your life if you don't give up? And what are you most thankful for? If you will spend some time reflecting on these things, I think you're going to have a lot of things that you can share with other people in regards to what coaching does bring to your life and what makes you thankful for it. And then post it somewhere where you can see it every day when you wake up and every day when you sit down to work. Post it where you can see it as a reminder, right? So when you're working and maybe you get frustrated, or you're having no's, or this is not going the right way and that's not going the right way, let that be your visual reminder every day about why you're doing this. Because if that is plain and clear enough to you, then it drives all of those like what ifs out of the way. Okay? So I'm going to leave y'all with that. But again, all of the resources that I shared with you tonight are in the site under resources, under challenge group resources and training. Good? Are y'all there? Someone talk to me.
We're good. Good info.
Good. Thank you, Erica. It was good to meet you.
Too. I don't know how we know how we were same mutual friends with Ken Kalor from Fellowship Church.
Oh yeah, I went to high school with him.
Oh really? How funny. We were part of that church for 3 years and we lived in Dallas. So I was like, wait a minute, how is she? Anyway, sorry to you. But yeah, good info.
Yeah, no, and I live, so the original Fellowship Church is in Grapevine. I live like 15, 20 minutes north of there.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. It's like actually like right by my hometown, which is Coppell.
Yeah, okay, great.
Yeah.
Small world.
Small world, yeah. Good.
Hey, so I forgot about this and came on late. Where do I find the resources again?
Who is this?
Sorry. This is Brittany. Hey, sorry.
Hey.
I'm trying to, now I'm covering up myself. Hi.
Oh, no, you're good.
I'm in Texas, too.
You are?
Yeah, I'm in Rockwall.
Who's your coach?
I can't make myself. Marcella.
Oh, good, good.
Yes.
Okay. Where in Texas are you?
I'm near Rockwall.
Okay. Well, you're like local.
Yeah.
I'm in Argyle. Do you know where that's at?
Oh, yeah, I do. I have friends there.
Yeah. Good. I love it.
Yes.
Okay, so if you go to teamfitrevival.com,
okay,
it will ask you, it may ask you for a password. And the password is, what is it, y'all? It's is it TFR code 611? Is that what it is? It's been a while since I've had to type it in. Hang on, I'll go check for you.
No, you're fine.
Hang on. Or if somebody knows, you can shout it out. Yes, it's TFR code 611.
Okay, TFR code
Coach
611.
Yeah,
Coach.
TFR coach 611.
611. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and there's tons of other stuff on there too. So if you haven't been to the site yet, then
oh, I watched you on YouTube. Sorry, I couldn't tell looking at your face here, but I could tell looking at your website.
Yeah, good. Well, it's fun to meet new people on our team. I love that.
Yes. Well, thanks.
I have a quick question. Do you use Facebook for your like now your community, your VIP community, or the tracker? Because you mentioned like you can log everyone's shakes and know they've had 100 days of it. I was just curious.
Yeah, I do both. So the tracker is part of my VIP group.
Right.
So I give them access to that. But here's what I do with that. I don't post in there, and I don't check in there, and I don't comment there. I do, like, I have a pinned post in there, and like at the beginning of the year, I set that group up for the year. And so it's just set up. And so when I add new people into my group, then they also get added to the tracker. I have a pinned post in there that just has a few things about what the tracker is used for, and really it's just for them logging their consistency. When I change out my power verse every month, then I change like the picture to that post, it gets changed out. So that's the only thing I do in there. And I tell them too, when I talk to them on the phone, I just say, look, the tracker is for you logging. It'll, like, give them like a reminder on their phone to do, y'all know that.
Yes.
I also teach them how to do like their before and after pictures. So, like, because you can't do that in the app very well, like it'll just do one picture. So you can't, it's kind of frustrating because I can't see like their day 1 with like their day 60, so I teach them how to create a collage and make that as their picture in the app. So we do a few things like that in the app, but I also let them know that Facebook is really where the community aspect of things is. I tried just doing the app because I really wanted to love it, but I felt like I was missing like getting to know those ladies. And so that part of things was just kind of starting to fizzle out for me. And so I used the Facebook group really as our community page, not as the free community, but to establish that culture in my Facebook VIP group. And then the app is really just a tool for them.
Perfect. Makes sense. I mean, I'm kind of at that stage where, I mean, I like to use the app because of the tracking. I mean, I really like it and the reminder, but it doesn't work as easily to get engagement, and I think that's part of it too. So
yes,
that helps.
Yes, yeah, it's hard. It's hard to get to know people in the app. It
Right.
was for me. So good. Well, I know it's getting late, so I'll let you guys go. I always want to say ladies and then I like catch myself because I'm like, whoop, what if there's a guy? But I don't think there is. So, all right. Well, y'all have a good week and let me know like if any of those links don't work or anything like that because you never know.
Thanks so much.
All right. See y'all later.
Bye.